Paul. As he introduces himself, he says, a servant of Jesus Christ. That word translated means slave. He said, I'm a slave of Jesus Christ. That's how he didn't come in saying, well, I have a PhD and I am the right reverend, this, that, and the other. He didn't step in there with his titles and all this other kind of stuff. He was a genuine shepherd, a true leader.
Hi there again. So I was listening to this Bible study that Kinson was teaching, and it fit beautifully. I had just so happened to be looking at some old handbooks from the Bible school, especially when it was in St. Louis. And if you'll notice, on the earliest one, Davis has himself listed as having a PhD, and I believe Olson has a DD. And you can read, I've just looked stuff up online, did a little bit of research and tried to make it concise, but I wanted to include as much information as possible so there was no doubt about these use of titles to make this college seem, as Reverend Kinson said himself, normal. That it's just a normal college, just normal. So people have these, I don't know who assigned them, but you can see in the first one, Davis has a PhD. In the second one, he has a PhD and a DD. And Olson has a DD. He has and then there's also a Bachelor of Theology. So I just ask you to go ahead and read through, and see the change. So are you saying whatever amount of years were between? Now, granted, it does say the DD is pretty much honorary, but you have to have an education. You do have to have earned, I forget what it says in there. I think it says a bachelor degree. Did any of these people earn that? So did they all sit around a table and say, well, what do you want to be? Well, all right, I'm going to bestow this upon you, and you bestow this upon me. The PhD he can't have done. Do you know how many years of schooling he would have had to do? And I'm speaking of Davis. You still have to do things for the DD and for the BTH. So lots of questions. Now, of course, later on, and I believe I do have a handbook somewhere from the 80s, if I'm not mistaken, in my files. But sometimes I don't label things well when I'm in a hurry. I just kind of download it, or I screenshot it. I cut it up, and then I just throw it in a file. So I apologize for that, but you can plainly see that there was a time when they were starting out, they were trying to make themselves appear to be something. The next thing we're going to talk about is the women, all the women that were on staff, and why they aren't now. Now, I have no idea if Tanya is still teaching in the Bible school, but there are lots of questions about that, and I believe that's something to be explored as well. But for now, just look at this, and I'm just saying, look at it, make your own decision, and does it not smack of exactly what Kinson is saying here, that Paul is not? Is that what Davis is and was? My answer to that is yes. What I'm saying is, Davis is the opposite of what Kinson was describing Paul as. The other thing is that I will include here with the whole Bible school thing is, I've called it a silly little school before, and it is. It really is. There is no training. If you're someone contemplating going there, there is no training of teachers. There's no, it's not accredited. And it's just like Bible studies, hyped up, and busy work. And that's about it.